Hi, I'm Hannah and I play the cello.
I'm Lars and I play the modular synth.
And together we are
Eocæn. How do we get started to play Eocæn? I think we met 7 years ago, something like that, where Hannah played some cello on one of my projects called Eocæn, and we kept in touch. And then you had a project.
Yeah, then we did a joint project together where I brought my solo project, the Key Resonance, which focuses on meditation, trance-like states. And we collaborated with some improvisation and some solo contemporary cello. Where we did a concert together, and it worked so well that we decided to continue playing together and focus on the improvisation.
What is it like to perform live? Yeah, as I told Hannah once, it's almost like being on stage naked because we don't know what we're going into, and every time is something new, and it's just a big sea of uncertainty that you have to sail through and find your way, and it's very exciting and challenging.
What's it like performing live? As a classical musician, this was quite intense for me to go on stage without a music stand to hide behind and with no music that I had prepared beforehand. It really puts you in a space where you have to communicate with each other and communicate with the audience in a completely new way, much more spontaneous. And there are moments where you think, I don't know what to play next. And those are the moments where suddenly you'll think of something and the music will take another direction, and that's actually those moments of fear is where the magic happens.
Yeah, you can't stop because then everything stops and you're in front of the audience, and you have to find a way, and that's what makes it exciting and interesting and different.
How would we describe our music? I think the word dark comes to mind. I think the cello has itself a melancholic tone, and I think that combined with the drone-like repetition of the modular synths can really bring you into this sort of ambient, dark state, and I think we gravitate toward that kind of sound quite often.
Yeah. I think with a deep drone of synth just going underneath everything, it really puts the atmosphere right in the spot, and it's quite easy to build on that, basically. So we have a foundation, and then we go from there with other elements.
Multi-layered.
Yeah.
I think when I first started working with Lars and electronics, I had this expectation that the music would sound space age or modern or futuristic. And I think that was very much not the case when we started listening back to the recordings. I think it's how we came up with the name Eocæn, actually, which is a prehistoric time period, because I felt that the music, rather than being futuristic, actually sounded sort of pre-human, really very organic, and sort of to some early life forms, or maybe even a parallel dimension.
Yeah, and many of the sound that we create has a sense of recognition. You kind of feel like you can hear what it is because it sounds familiar, but then it's not, and that's what makes it all twisted in a funny way, and interesting that in your mind you can actually hear things that you can relate to, but in reality it's not at all that, and that's also what makes it different and interesting. The album is recorded live. All the tracks are recorded live. There's no adding stuff later on. It's all straight as it was recorded, and then just briefly mixed and mastered, and that's that. And I think it sounds really good because the music speaks for itself. The instrument speaks for themselves. They don't need much editing because they just sound great, and the way we play it is just like, that's the way it's supposed to be.
It captures a moment in time. I think with everything Eocæn does, we cannot recreate what happened in that moment. So the album was a way of capturing some of the spontaneity that we have.
It's like a snapshot of audio at that particular time.